everybody, big changes on condominiums. November 2021, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, who control the guidelines for the conventional loans, just released that effective immediately, condos have more oversight. Now, just to bring you up to speed, there was an event a couple of months ago in Surfside, Florida, and unfortunately a whole condo building collapsed, which was a major hazard. You know, people were hurt and it was just horrific. So because of that, there's now extra diligence and extra questions that lenders must ask in order to approve the condo. So I'm just going to take a sidestep really quick just to bring you up to speed on what lenders have to do in a condo situation. So we're talking about a conventional loan. The condo, the lender must identify that the condominium association and the condo complex or association meets certain requirements that are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac approvable. It's called a warrantable condo. Now, for those guidelines, there's a questionnaire that is sent to the homeowners association that governs the building. And the reason that this happens, I like to tell people why. It's because the viability of the condo grouping of homes is very, very dependent on how the association is run, the budget. Are there enough reserves to pay for deferred maintenance? Are there enough reserves for certain insurances that are required? So it's very important to a lender that these check marks are made on the condo to make sure it's a viable community, because if it's not, the community could go downhill. There could be deferred maintenance, it could be not a great place to live, and then that means that project, that home that they own, on behalf of the buyer, if the buyer forecloses, they've got a property on their hands that they can't sell. So that's the why. So back to the story of why these new changes. So the viability and the structural soundness of the condo is really not very verified currently. That's a loophole. It's a hole in the system that we have now figured out is very important. So now on the questionnaire that is sent, instead of there being 20 to 25 questions, there's probably 5 to 7 more questions. I haven't seen the questionnaire yet, but from the memo that we received, there's going to be 5 to 7 more questions that the HOAs must answer. And they're questions about, are there any deficiencies, or is there any substantial damage from anything? Is there any deferred maintenance? Are there any special assessments? Special assessments in a community are usually a sign of deferred maintenance that needs to be fixed, and there's a plan to fix it. So if the answer to any of those things is yes, we're definitely going to have to investigate. The appraiser will need to be involved. We'll have to get extra documentation to make sure that the soundness of the community structurally is okay. So examples of this would be roof damage, foundation, structural damage, electrical problems, plumbing problems. Those will be the key trigger words. So the reason I tell you this is that if you're a realtor listing a condo, or your client is buying a condo, or if you're a buyer, or if you're a seller or a buyer, so anybody that's connected to a condominium at all, please know that it will take longer. I don't know yet how much longer. This literally just came out days ago, so we have yet to know. But through my experience, I believe that it will probably take an extra 10 to 15 days on condominiums, not sure, and it will very much depend on how quickly the homeowners association management company answers our questions and gets us information that we need. So be diligent, be aware, ask your local lender, what that means to the transaction, what's their process for verifying those things very quickly. It definitely depends that you have a good lender that's going to act quickly on these items. So if you're in Texas, call us. We're happy to help. Hope you got a lot of good details from this video. Talk to you soon. Legacy Mutual Mortgage is an equal housing opportunity lender. The opinions expressed here do not reflect those of Legacy Mutual Mortgage.